Your summer vacation plans may have been spoiled, with the back of the envelope calculation showing that the closure of services by Go First may have led to an almost 20% increase in ticket prices on select routes, especially the busiest. Trouble began when Go First filed for voluntary insolvency before the National Company Law Tribunal on May 2nd and stopped flying from May 3rd. Some relief may now be around the corner, with Go First expected to restart flights by May 24th. This was made possible after the National Company Law Tribunal accepted Go First's insolvency plea on May 10th. The ruling allows Go First a moratorium of 6 months, during which time the airline will continue to be in possession of the aircraft that were to be taken away by the lessors. The NCLT also appointed an interim resolution professional to take charge of the airline. But a long-term threat may have emerged for both flyers and airlines in the wake of the NCLT order. Aircraft lessors SMBC Aviation Capital, SFV Aircraft Holdings, and GY Aviation Lease have challenged the NCLT order that admitted Go First's plea for voluntary insolvency. And the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal will pass an order in this regard on May 22nd. SMBC Aviation's submission before the NCLAT is that it had terminated the lease prior to the commencement of Go First's insolvency process. Thus, as per the Cape Town Conventions, to which India is a signatory, the airline cannot fly and operate the aircraft concerned. The advocate representing the interim resolution professional said that the notice of termination of lease by the lessors was a way to defeat the insolvency proceedings. SMBC also told the appellate tribunal that the Indian aviation sector is seen as a risky jurisdiction in light of the fate of Kingfisher and Jet Airways, and Indian operators were paying a premium to take aircraft on lease as a result. SMBC warned that the admission of Go First's petition would further shake the confidence of the international aviation industry. All of this has led to the apprehension that this could lead to higher risk premiums, which would mean higher lease rentals for other domestic airlines too, and the ultimate result could be higher ticket prices. But data from aviation analytics firm Cirium also shows why India is a critical market for lessors. Sale and leaseback deals accounted for 75% of plane deliveries from 2018 to 2022 in India, compared with a global average of 35%. The demand from Indian carriers is also expected to be for over 2,200 aircraft in the next 20 years. Against this backdrop, what will be the long-term impact on airlines and passengers if the NCLT order is not quashed?
Nothing. Nothing is going to happen. I don't think the lessors are going to be increasing the lease rentals significantly, and the increase in the lease rentals, even if they are going to be, let's say, probably 0.25 or something like that, will not have a significant impact on the passenger fares. Now, the differential for an airline to access debt in the market. So let's say pre-COVID, the debt was if as an airline you would get a debt at, let's say, 9% on USD, and the sale and leaseback or the leasing you were getting at about 6.5-7%. So you had a differential of 200 basis points or 2%. But now that has completely changed. The room that is available for the lessor to increase the premium has drastically shrunk down to almost 1.5% or 1%. So if they try to increase the premium, it is going to just tip off to the extent where someone like a Tata or an Indigo can just go and take a debt in the market, and that is still going to be at the same rate as what the SLB is going to be, or the lease is going to be. So there is an upper limit to which these guys can increase the premium.
In light of the recent NCLT order, that brings in an additional element of uncertainty for lessors. But we see that may not have a significant impact on the Indian airlines, at least on the large Indian airlines with a solid balance sheet. We do not see higher lease rentals for them because of this order going forward. New startup airlines and small airlines may see the lease rentals going up, to some extent.
And will the tussle between Go First and the lessors lead to a structural change in India's civil aviation sector?
What NCLT has done is not at all different from what the laws in UK and US are. In US and UK, when you have airlines going through a Chapter 11, they do have the ability of retaining the aircraft. The lessors cannot take the aircraft back. I mean, forget about the lessor. The banks cannot take the aircraft back. It just showed that we matured fast enough as compared to what the other lessors were hoping for. But what it has definitely caught the Indian aviation from that perspective, and I think the other airlines would actually start looking at it, is the risk of having a significant portfolio being under lease structure. So my view is that you will now start seeing a sort of a balanced structure where you would have aircraft under lease as well as aircraft under ownership. And there have been multiple ownership models that have come across in the aviation sector. That is the change that you will start seeing.
Citing sources, Business Standard has reported that the centre could expedite the bill that implements the Cape Town Convention and Protocol, making it easier for lessors to repossess planes, as the bill could have primacy over the insolvency law. It remains to be seen whether this will appease the lessors, as some in the industry believe it will, and bring relief to Indian airlines, which pay a big chunk of their revenues as lease rent.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.